everybody, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. We are here again. It's that time of week, and it's already game week 5 for our predictions. We'll come on a little bit later as to the table. You've probably seen it on Twitter. If you haven't seen it already, go and check us out, Sweet and Sour Soccer. And the man, I mean, it's actually worked out pretty well because the guest that we have this week, you could argue he's had the best week of anyone since it began, but we'll get onto that later. We are welcome to Doug from the Doug Out Football channel. As always, it's a pleasure, Doug. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much to you and Scott for having me. And we'll obviously get into it, but I have had a pretty good week.
You definitely have.
You did. I've seen your predictions, and we are similar on a few. So I'm hoping your luck from last week carries over, and I can steal a few correct results from you. So Scott, I've seen yours, and I mean we'll come on to yours, but again, abysmal, just abysmal.
I've gone for a couple outside the box ones this week. Guys, if you are new here, just a quick one. We have a prediction league. So basically it's me, James, Doug is, of course, part of it. And then there's another 4 streamers involved. What we'll do is we'll run through our 3 that are here now. We'll run through our predictions. And then we'll go on to their predictions as well as bringing up our prediction league.
Absolutely. Shall we dive right in? So, for anyone that doesn't know, if you haven't seen this before, all our previous videos are there for you to go and check. I think we have a playlist, and if not, by the time this comes out, I'll make sure that me or Scott do it, so it's there for you. It's 3 points for a correct score and 1 point for the correct result. Very similar to Super 6, if you ever played that and ever won the $250,000, I don't know. There's some nice fixtures this week. It wasn't easy, and most weeks aren't easy. But Scott, throw us straight in with the first game.
Yeah, of course. So we'll start off with Newcastle and Leeds. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Both without a win so far this season.
Yeah.
I think from an outside perspective, I think some pressure's kind of piling onto both of them. I honestly do. But I think, internally, Leeds are always going to be on, I guess less pressure internally from the fans because of their love for Bielsa and the team. I think there's more love from a Leeds point of view for that team than there is for Bielsa than there is from a Newcastle perspective with, their owners, their manager. I think the team is probably the only thing they have love for at the moment. But interestingly, we've all gone for different results here. Now, I've gone for a Leeds win. I don't know why. I almost just feel that maybe just that negativity around, there could be negativity around St. James's Park if things don't go well for Newcastle early on. And I think that could be a catalyst to actually work against Newcastle. And I think Leeds are going to be really desperate for a win. And I think this is one they'll probably cite that they want 3 points from. Doug, you've gone for the exact opposite, mate. So I'm intrigued with this one.
I worry for Leeds. I really do. The way they played against us the other day, I was very, very concerned with the way they defended. And there's big holes in that midfield as well. And I just feel that Newcastle, with players like St. Maximan, Willock, I feel that they can get at Leeds. So, yeah, I've actually gone for a very surprising 1-0 scoreline. And I've actually given Newcastle a clean sheet, which I never often do. But, Leeds, I just can't see them keeping any clean sheets at this moment in time.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? I think they kind of have some offence, but I think defensively, kind of sounding like an NFL commentator there. Offense and defense.
Offense and defense. Talking about, if you want to get the screen back up, Scott, talking about 2 teams that have had a pretty good defence this season. Brentford haven't conceded many goals, a couple of clean sheets. Wolves have also had a pretty good defence. Why am I saying defence now? For God's sake. A decent defence, even though we lost our first 3 games. Only 3 goals conceded against Tottenham, Leicester and United, which I think most teams would take. We've all gone for a Wolves win, but all 3 different scorelines. I think Brentford have played well, but I think if you're watching the Premier League and you're not a Wolves fan, even you can see that Wolves are starting to find their stride now. You'd agree, Doug?
Absolutely. I think the thing is, the last 3 games, Leicester, Tottenham, and Manchester United, you came away empty-handed. And in my opinion, you should have 3 wins from those 3 games.
Yeah, it's
The
crazy.
fact that you beat Watford was a big relief. I mean, you finally got off the mark as well. I think signing Hwang Lee Chan, I hope I pronounced that right, I think is a cracking signing. I think it's a cracking signing, and I think he'll give the firepower that you badly need up front. So yeah, look, I think it was always going to take a bit of time. Obviously, new manager, new bounce, etc. But I'm so happy that you won at Watford because it was thoroughly deserved. And I mean, I had Jimenez to score the first one. I mean, obviously, I know it's a Peralta own goal, but if Peralta doesn't actually touch the ball, I think Jimenez gets to that. So. But I always don't have Wolves in any relegation trouble whatsoever. So I was delighted for you both, and obviously the watch along that you guys did as well did very well And
we're amazed by that. We really were, and I think you're right, Doug. I think Jimenez he's due a goal. I think it will come this weekend. I really do, and I think we're due to batter a team a bit more as well. We've had the most shots, most dribbles in the league so far. I've just not had that end product, but I do think it's coming. Moving on to, I guess, a team that also hasn't had much end product. I suppose you could say that for both of them, Burnley and Arsenal. Now, I've gone for a bit of I expect Arsenal to get a heavy win here. I've gone for
3 goals.
As an Arsenal fan,
it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because let's be honest, they didn't look great against Norwich, but Burnley haven't looked. Burnley have been a bit unlucky in some ways, but they have had moments in every game so far where they have just dropped off. I think Sean Dyche alluded to that as well. So it's a really interesting one with that. I've actually gone for a 3-1 Arsenal. I think they're going to want to build some momentum going into the North London derby next week. But yeah, I've always predicted kindly for Arsenal. It's never quite worked out. So, I mean, Doug, you've predicted an Arsenal win, but you've definitely not gone as kindly, have you, with the result?
Jeez, no wonder you call you a closet Arsenal fan. Jesus.
it's crazy. It's
3-1. Look, Burnley, the way they capitulated the other night was very strange. It's not usual what a Sean Dyche team does, but you have to give credit to Everton. I thought they were very good as well. But the one thing I worry about Burnley is that this could be the season they could go down if they're not careful.
Yeah, agreed.
And
you're not the first person to say that. Yeah.
Yes, Arsenal scraped through against Norwich. I've just got a feeling they'll scrape through again. But maybe this. I mean, they go into the North. They'll want to win before the North London derby next weekend. There's no denying that. So yeah. I just fancy a very narrow Arsenal win. I don't see 3 goals past Burnley, but you never know.
I mean, James, interestingly, you've actually gone for a draw, haven't you?
I have. I think the Arsenal win is false confidence. They've beat a team that will probably go down this season. Burnley are a bad team for Arsenal, historically speaking. I think they'll get a goal, but I think Burnley will as well. I think this has got draw written all over it. If there's a result in terms of either team winning, I'd be very surprised in this one. Coming on to your team now, Doug. For those of you who don't know, Doug is a big Liverpool fan. And again, no surprising, we've all gone for a home win. Again, 3 different scorelines, though. I think after Palace's victory, I don't think we're going to see Liverpool scoring 3 or 4.
I think the one thing you can say about Palace is they've played very well against Tottenham last week. The way that Edward came into stride as well, and I've said I actually said to a lot of people, watch Edward be a hit at Palace, and already he's scored 2 goals. Yeah, the last time we played on a 3:00 game against Crystal Palace, it ended Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 3. So I'm praying to goodness it's nothing like that, because that was edge of the seat stuff. But that was in the old Klopp days when we had no Van Dijk, no Robertson. So I'm hoping it's not like that. But yeah, I just fancy Palace to score. They always seem to do it whenever they go to Anfield. So I fancy us to win, but I fancy them to score.
Yeah.
I think they've perhaps shown, haven't they, that they have got goals in them after the result at the weekend, and they will be kind of buzzing off that. I mean, moving on to probably again a pretty, I guess, an easy fixture to predict. Obviously, City, after their slip up to Spurs at the start of the season, I have to say they've looked ruthless ever since. And I know they only won 1-0 at the weekend, but they were still quite convincing for me. So I've gone for I really fancy them to kind of put the foot on the gas. The only thing that maybe Southampton fans might actually kind of find as a bit of luck at not luck rather, but it might be something they're hoping on for, is the fact they're a bit of the draw merchants of the league at the moment. They've played 4 games, of which they've drawn 3 of them. Who knows, maybe they could pull off a shock draw, but none of us have gone for a shock draw. In fact, you and James have both gone for 3-0, Doug. I'm guessing this one kind of speaks for itself. Pretty easy win.
Yeah, but it's a home banker, isn't it? I don't see Saints. I don't really see Saints causing City many problems. And I think a 3:00 game in front of the Etihad crowd, I just have a feeling City will be too strong for Saints. But I have to say, I thought Southampton were unlucky against West Ham. I think they were probably the better of the two sides last week. They hit the upright, they hit the post. On another day, I think they had one cleared off the line at the very end as well. So, Southampton are playing well. They're just not getting the results. I think they will get the results very soon, but I don't see them getting anything off Manchester City, unfortunately. I think
that just shows, doesn't it? I know Armstrong's come in and done a decent job, but the sale of Danny Ings, I think as well, they've done. Thank God they've hung on to Ward-Prowse, because the things could have really gone sour then. But they're definitely missing that Danny Ings goal scorer. I think Armstrong will do well, but he needs some time to settle in. James, should we move straight on then to the Norwich Watford game?
A game that you could argue is already a 6-pointer. I mean, I don't buy this idea of a game too early in the season can be a 6-pointer. Listen, if this game was the first game of the season, make no bones about it, this is a 6-pointer. And I do believe the spoils will be split. And I'm actually the only one that thinks that. You both think Watford have got enough to get the victory and go, travelling home with 3 points. I don't know. Again, I tell you what, if I was going to pick a winner, I probably would go Watford.
Yeah, Doug. I mean, I don't know if you agree, but from what I've seen of Watford, although they've found themselves in not the best table position now, especially after their early win at the start of the season, I think they've looked quite strong at times. I think even against us at the weekend, they defended quite well at times. I think it could have been more if it weren't for their defensive ability. Might be what they offer going forward might be Watford's problem for me. I don't know if you agree, Doug.
It's a very tricky game to predict, right? Could go either 3 ways. Could go a Norwich win, it could go a Watford win, or it could be a goalless draw. Because Norwich don't score enough goals, Watford don't score enough goals. I know they got 3 against Aston Villa, but ever since then, they haven't scored a goal as well. But I don't know, I've just got a feeling Watford will win this one, because I think Norwich I think they're doomed, unfortunately. I really, really do. I honestly don't see them getting any points anywhere anytime soon. So
imagine they go down with 0 points. If you're a Canary right now, turn off. God.
It was Derby, weren't it? Derby, I think, only achieved, was it 11
16?
points?
Was it
11 points, yeah. 11
I don't think it's going to be another situation like that, but they do a bit of yo-yoing, don't they, Norwich? Or they're always up, down. So,
worst Premier League team ever.
Pull it back, but I must admit, Doug, I'm with you at the moment. I don't think the early signs are there. Let's move on to the Villa-Everton game, because I think people will be kind of shocked with my prediction on this. Everton currently sitting nicely in 4th. They're kind of showing some, resolve is maybe the right word on the Rafa Benitez. I think, you look at the game on Monday, they weren't particularly playing amazing, but still managed to pick up the 3 points, which is something we've kind of talked about before that Rafa will do for them. Villa start, I think Villa have kind of underperformed compared to what everyone would have expected, even with the sale of Grealish due to who they brought in. I think Konza and Mings, that defensive partnership, has probably looked a little weaker than expected as well in the early signs of this season. But I don't know why. I just feel away to Villa Park, it's not an easy game. I think Villa fans and Villa players in general, they'll be desperate to pick up a win. And I don't know why. It's just, for me, it's just one of these feelings where I feel that they will actually do it. Obviously, you guys both have gone for the Everton win. Doug, you've gone for an Everton win and a clean sheet, which some of our Everton subs will be delighted to hear. What was your thoughts behind that one?
Well, I forgot about the fact that Buendia and Martinez will be back for this game because they were very, very naughty as well. But I've been really shocked with Villa. I mean, look, if you have Tyrone Mings at the back, I mean, he was, pardon the pun, but he was minging against Chelsea. That back pass for Kovacic was horrendous.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrendous. Not even looking where the ball is, and not even looking where Kovacic is. He passes it straight to Kovacic. And I mean, the highlight of that game for Villa fans was probably Leon Bailey tracking back 50 yards to basically get the ball back and then nutmeg Cesar Azpilicueta. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. But Everton are flying, man. Absolutely flying. I mean, the Rafa effect.
I just don't see anything but an Everton win. I mean, just as a stat for you, no player has made more errors in the Premier League since Villa got promoted than Tyrone Mings 2 seasons ago. He made the most errors in his first season, and he was second last season. He's actually considerably ahead of second place in terms of overall over the last 2 years. So, he played well for England in those first 2 games at the Euros. But listen, we played a poor Croatian team and, Scotland, who defended, all game. But I've got no confidence in Mings. Konza, if it wasn't for Konza, I'd fear for Villa. I really would this season.
Defender, isn't he, in my opinion?
Are you surprised Twanzebe's not getting any game time at Villa?
It's an odd one. It's an odd one.
I honestly think Twanzebe should be playing instead of Mings. I think him and Konza at the back would make a very good partnership.
I like Twanzebe. I really do. I don't think he can drop Mings. I don't think Dean Smith's got that within him because he's captain, isn't he? Still.
Yeah.
Connor Cody needs dropping. It's not going to happen. How many players in the Premier League who get the captaincy from nostalgia or from length of term who shouldn't be playing, but can you drop the captain? In my opinion, I think they need to. I mean, the stats, as I mentioned, speak for themselves. The most errors in the last 2 seasons. I don't see it, though. I think Villa will struggle this season. I think they'll be nowhere near top 10. I really do.
Agreed.
I don't see them getting the win at the weekend.
No, I don't either.
No. Coming on to Brighton and Leicester. This is a tricky one. At the start of the season, I'd have seen this result and said 3-0 Leicester, maybe. Now, I actually almost gave Brighton the win. Well, you've gone for a Leicester win, Doug, but was it a difficult one for you?
It was, considering I believe that they play Napoli on Thursday as well. So obviously they've got the Europa League factor in there. I completely forgot about them being in the Europa League, if I'm being totally honest. But it was a tricky one because Brighton have actually shocked a lot of people by actually starting the season very well. They deserved to get at least something from the game against Brentford, and obviously it was a late win, so it was a good win for them. But I've been impressed with Brighton. Leicester, again, they really created very little against Man City. I know Vardy had a goal rolled out offside. I think Harvey Barnes hit the crossbar with a header, but after that, I think the form of James Maddison is a big concern as well. He hasn't looked good all season. I don't know if obviously Ant will agree with me on that one, but I just feel that Leicester flattered to deceive, I think, is the good thing to say about that. But I just fancy them to just put the Brighton in that one.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, both me and James have gone for draws. But yeah, again, kind of similar to what you were saying, Doug. For me, it was the fact that like Brighton, I believe I actually predicted them to finish in the top 10 this season. I think they've gained some real momentum. They've had some good signings, and yeah, so far Leicester's form has been a bit of a shock, hasn't it? I think. If we move on to the next game, obviously West Ham started the season very well. Man United now, obviously we know about them, this Ronaldo effect. Well, let's be honest, it actually didn't have any effect at all, did it, yesterday with what was it, ended up being a loss to Young Boys. I think they'll want to come back after that, though. They'll want to be wanting to make a statement, especially with it being a Premier League game. Doug, I'll let you give your opinion for this because we've all said the exact same thing. So I suppose you'll probably just speak on our behalf for all three of us on this one. We've all gone 2-1, haven't we?
Yeah, I think I mean Manchester United just can't get clean sheets, can they? Like whenever they play, like they beat Newcastle 4-1 last week, and I actually thought Manchester United for about 45 minutes of that game. I thought Newcastle contained them really, really well, but Ronaldo gets you goals. They were shocking last night against Young Boys. Absolutely shocking. So they'll want to bounce back as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a bit of an Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sorry.
I love these. I love it. Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming.
Because that tackle on the Young Boy player, yes, he made a meal of it, but it is a red card. And Jesse Lingard, what was he thinking as well? But
shame after his goal as well.
Yeah,
I don't know why I like Lingard.
West Ham have not got Antonio for this game either, so that's a bit of a problem. So who are they going to play? Are they going to play Yarmolenko?
Jared Bowen, maybe on
Jared
his own
Bowen.
as a 9, pack the midfield.
Yeah,
West Ham was screaming out for a striker, weren't it? Even if it weren't to, obviously replace Antonio. It's clearly a position that they're lacking that depth, and I think, as you say, it could be a fixture where it really does come back to bite them. So we move on to our last fixture. Obviously, Spurs-Chelsea. Some would say this is the biggest fixture of the weekend in terms of the one that's going to excite the neutral.
Yeah, I mean, me and Doug have both gone for a Chelsea clean sheet. You think that Spurs might just nick one?
I think they might. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think the cracks are starting to show with Spurs. Obviously, their form before last game where they lost to Palace. There was quite a buzz around them, but I think things are starting to unfold. And then I know with Spurs fans, Tommy being a Spurs fan, he said himself the performances haven't warranted what they've actually got. I don't know. I just really fancy Kane to get a goal. I think that's literally my only basis for it. I feel they'll now want to put it all behind him. I want to get himself a goal. And I think, against Chelsea, it'll be a game where I want to make a point as well. So I don't expect a good Tottenham performance, but I think Kane might just nick a goal for them. I do expect Chelsea to dominate this fixture.
Yeah, it'll be. It's another tricky one to call, but you just look at the way Chelsea are playing at the moment, and I just don't see anything other than a Chelsea win. Spurs were terrible last week. I think Tommy said the other night. I actually haven't seen Tottenham play that bad for a long, long time. Like even before the red card, Crystal Palace deserved their win. They were all over Tottenham, and I think the worrying thing for Tottenham fans is that Harry Kane didn't even get a touch in the opposition box.
I saw that
against Crystal Palace. So
Nuno ball. I
think having Rudiger, having potentially Christensen, Reece James will be back for this game, I think, as well.
Will, yeah.
I think Chelsea will be able to ground out a 2-0 win.
Yeah, I agree. I just think the Son is so important, not only to Spurs, but Harry Kane as an individual. Like, I don't think Harry Kane should move clubs unless he gets Son with him. They just have that Dwight York, Andy Cole connection, don't they? They broke the record last season, I think. I think they equaled it very early on before Kane's injury. Chelsea look just rigid. I don't think Chelsea are going to get many 4 or 5-0 wins this season. I don't think they're that kind of team at the moment. But they just don't look like they're going to lose a game. I think we're going to see a lot of 2-0s, 1-0s, 2-1s, 3-1s from Chelsea. I think if you get a goal from Chelsea and don't concede too many, I think you've had a good result against them this season for a lower team club anyway.
I mean, the one thing you can say about Chelsea is that their next two games are big tests, because obviously they got Tottenham away this weekend, but they've got Manchester City at Stamford Bridge next weekend. That's going to be the big one.
That'll tell us where they may be come end of May. And we know Tuchel's already got Pep's number. 3 games they played last season. Once in the was it once in the Champions League final? Was it once in the league and the FA Cup?
Yep, I think it was. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
And I think Tuchel won all 3. So, and really you could argue that you could argue Tuchel made Pep change his philosophy for that final, didn't he? No holding midfielder in that game. I specifically remember he kind of got under his skin. So, I think Spurs will get the result this weekend, and I'll probably fancy them next weekend as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's quickly dive through the fixtures then.
Let's have a quick look. If it does load for me, it should do what I ask it to. There we go. So, not too many unsurprising results from what I can see there. Tommy's only gone for a 2-0 City win, but I wouldn't say that's disastrous. He's actually gone for a Norwich win, funnily enough.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, and it's interesting to see there's quite...
Villa 3-1. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Tommy's backed me on this one. I was looking out for that one. I was thinking, has anyone... Tommy's gone for a few outside the box ones. I like it, Tommy. I like it.
Burnley 2-1. Yeah, I like it, Tommy. Bold. Tommy will either score 4 points this week or 15. It's going to be one of them for Tommy.
Let's move on to the next slide then. Nothing too shocking there. And obviously we've got got Michael and Anne. And interestingly, that they've gone the opposite for the Leeds Newcastle game.
Does anything jump out to you for you, Doug?
Win, and then Michael's gone for a...
and Brentford won at Wolves.
Surprise there at all, is there?
Oh my God, Ant's got 4-1 Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, as a Leicester fan, maybe he's hope. That's more hope than sense, maybe.
I think that is more hope than expectation. My goodness me!
Listen, if it comes off, he'll have a great weekend and 3 points. But that is bold.
And you won't like his Wolves Brentford score either.
No. Yeah, we'll probably never get Ant on this channel. I don't think he's put Wolves to win 1 game this season. Fuck you, Ant. Fuck you.
Come on, help us out. Let's move on to get this done quickly. As you can see, I've dropped down another space. Doug, let's just talk about you. Let's forget who's top of the table. Let's just talk about yourself. Obviously, up 3 places. You must be very happy.
I think it was 13 points. I think it was our biggest single week.
Yeah. It was crazy, absolutely crazy week for me. But I predicted, I think, the Leicester Man City correct. The Manchester United result I never thought I would get, but that was just a thing from the brain. I just thought 4-1 because I knew that Newcastle would score, but I didn't think United would. I thought United would win pretty comfortably, but 4-1.
I think you said Chelsea Villa 3-0, didn't you?
I said 2-0 Chelsea, so it was very close. Very close.
What was the other correct result you got? I'm sure you got 3 correct results.
I think I got 2 correct scores and then 6 correct results.
Right. You'd be surprised. Those correct results, they do add up. If you can get 3 or 4 or 5 of them a week and a couple of correct scores, they do add up. I mean, Scott, it's a good thing. Like I said on our tweet today. The integrity of this channel is dropping like a landslide. It's
anyway,
chalk and cheese.
Let's just forget about that and let's just quickly finish. Doug, massive thanks for coming on. We don't need to talk about this anymore. As always, guys, the link is in the description for all our streamers. But since Doug is the guest, make sure you at least click on Doug's and hit that subscribe button.
Give us
massive thanks for coming on, Doug.
Hold on. You've got to let Doug shout out his channel.
Of course, sorry.
Literally, he's that disgusted by the league table. He just wants to get off the stream.
Hey. Yes, my channel is the Dugout Football Channel. Come and check me out on YouTube. Basic football channel. We're trying to grow as much as I can. You can find me on Twitter right there. Enrod_1992. Instagram is Douglas.Horn and Facebook is Douglas James Horn. But thank you very much, James and Scott, for having me. And hopefully you're not bottom next week, Scott.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll have a bit of a comeback, but yeah, we shall see.
We'll see. Guys, Doug is almost at 1,500 subs. He also does general content. I think you did a Germany, a Bundesliga catch up today, didn't you, as well, or yesterday?
Yeah.
And you did it again today. So go and check him out. It's not just Liverpool content, and help him get to 1,500 subs. And while you're at it, help us get to 1,000. We're like 40 away. Come on.
Yes, please do help us out. Yeah. Guys, we shall see you on the next one.
Take care.